when you're living in stress and you're living in survival, or you're over consuming or over sexual, those centers are drawing from that invisible vital field around your body and turning it into chemistry. So
hello and welcome to the Pacific Channel. I'm your host, Steve Doherty. This video is going to explain some of the reasons why Dr. Joe Dispenza does things the way he does. Also, we're going to explain a little more about how it might be true that the body seems to store thoughts, feelings, and emotions. In this audio clip, a host asked Dr. Joe Dispenza a number of questions about why he uses words like energy instead of chi and energy centers instead of chakras. But the first question is why Dr. Joe has people send energy upwards from the lower energy centers or chakras into the brain instead of downward to the ground like in more traditional teachings. In most traditional forms of meditation and energy work, the work is to send that excess negative energy into the ground, not up into the brain. Dr. Joe will answer by saying that there are different breaths for different reasons and many different kinds of ways to do this work, but that the majority of people's thoughts are connected to their first three energy centers where all of their negative thoughts and feelings are stored. Basically, that energy is going to waste and can be drawn up into the brain, according to Dr. Joe. So the work is to draw all of that unused, stuck energy up through the spine and into the brain by using active breathing, where you squeeze your muscles and bring that energy up like sucking fluid up through a straw, according to Dr. Joe. It may seem very woo-woo, to be honest, and it's hard to imagine at first that this could possibly be true. But the fact is that Dr. Joe has been very scientific about all of this. He rarely does anything without a scientific reason for it. Even the slow, long, drawn-out way he talks during his guided meditations is because he knows that by talking that way, it helps to keep people in the slower brainwave states of low alpha and theta where healing occurs. He knows this because he experiments a lot and then reviews the brain scans to see what works and what doesn't work. What I like about Dr. Joe is he doesn't worry about what other scientists think about him, and he doesn't let his belief system get in the way. Instead, he changes his belief system based on what he gathers as evidence. In other words, he's a true scientist and doesn't worry if things sound or seem too woo-woo or not. That's the kind of scientist we all need to pay attention to. And by not allowing previous convictions or beliefs to get in his way, he can create a meditation protocol that isn't just remarkable, but can be life-changing. Let's listen to this conversation with Dr. Joe now, and then we'll discuss it further.
I'm your host, Dr. Joe Dispenza. Let's begin.
An enhanced emotional state. So Dr. Joe, you on stage, you would be with the music, you would be encouraging us, come on, let's bring that energy up your center line, up, keeping the abdomen in and the perineum squeezed so that the chi is rising. Oh yeah, I'll talk about chi in a minute, but how did that come about? Why are we sending all the energy upwards where a lot of the, I'm getting into traditional question now, you would disperse unwanted stagnant chi down into the ground. So what's with that?
Well, I mean, there's different breaths for different reasons, but the breath that we do is the breath, as we use the body as an instrument of consciousness to begin to draw energy from those lower centers back up into the brain. So imagine the majority of people's thoughts are connected to their first three centers in their body, and those centers have everything to do with survival, sexuality, pain, suffering, victimization, guilt, shame, anger, control, self-importance, fear, aggression. And most people think certain thoughts that turn on certain circuits in their brain. They feel certain emotions. The moment they feel certain emotions, those emotions signal hormonal centers. And then the moment we feel a certain emotion, we think more corresponding thoughts equal to how we're feeling. And the repetition of that cycle conditions the body emotionally become the mind. So we're taking thought in the form of energy and storing it in the body. And now the body becomes the mind of that emotion. So if the majority of a person's body mind is in the program, and energy is stored in the body and 5% is in the conscious mind, then there's got to be a way to pull the mind out of the body and to begin to liberate that energy. So all of a sudden, if the emotions are stored in the body and the body's in the past, then once this energy starts to move, we're freeing the body from the past. And as that energy starts to move, it begins to open different centers and creates more of a profound field for the person. So the way to do it, though, is not a passive breath.
No way. No, it's not at all.
Yeah, you have to find a level of intensity that's greater than that body-mind, and you have to demonstrate an active intent and presence and focus. And I can just tell you from experience, as well as the numerous brain scans we have, once that energy shakes loose, it's a moving freight train, and it creates way more energy in the brain, and not only just a little bit, but way more energy. And by the same means, the brain goes into a very, very highly organized state of coherence. Now the person is in that gamma state and super aware. And so we do that to free the body from the past.
So this is the right kind of energy. It's not the sort of the churning mind sort of energy. You can say, I'm always in my mind, got too much going on, but it's a different form of energy, isn't it? And for me, when that happens, the whole toroidal field gets completely activated. So yeah, the brain is getting fired up, but so is the energy field around. And you know, that's
why we're doing it. We're doing that to actually create that torus field. And when you're living in stress and you're living in survival, or you're over consuming, or over sexual, you know, those centers are drawing from that invisible vital field around your body and turning it into chemistry. So in essence, the field around your body is diminishing, and you're becoming more matter and less energy, more particle and less wave. And now your body, instead of being like a magnet that has the same field, your body is just a piece of metal with no charge, and there's no field. So the act of starting to move energy between the polarity of the North Pole and the South Pole in the body begins to run a current up that central pole, and just like a magnet, you start producing that field, and the effects are pretty dramatic.
I'm getting excited just talking about it, because it's a natural phenomenon. It's going on anywhere, and we're kind of jump-starting it and reminding our systems that that's what it does naturally. And yeah, so talk about this for ages, but we haven't got loads of time here on chi time. You see, chi is the key, and I notice you talk about the invisible field a lot, but you never mentioned the chi word. Why is that?
Well, again, the same way I never mentioned the word chakras or kundalini or mindfulness. I never use those words because I don't think it's appropriate to talk in the language that is dated from thousands of years ago. I think if you use life force, or you use energy, and you keep it simple and fresh, and not have people start to associate it with other things, then they keep their past out of it. So I like to keep it fresh. I like to keep it contemporary. I intentionally stay away from a lot of those words because it gets people hung up, and I don't think that that if a person is interested in just the practical application, the moment you start talking about those words, then some of those people may shut off because they may be a technical writer, or an engineer, or an astrophysicist, and it just may not be appropriate. So if we just talk in terms of energy or life force, I think everybody's included, and that's my job, is to move a community of people from one state of mind and body to another. And so I have to make sure that it's not intimidating, or people begin to shut off.
So basically what Dr. Joe said is that our thoughts and feelings are stored in the body, and that the body becomes conditioned to create hormones that correspond to the vibration of those thoughts and feelings. He doesn't say this here exactly, but he has said that our body becomes addicted to whatever thoughts, feelings, emotions, and the subsequent hormones that are created that match our normal state of being, our normal thinking and feeling, regardless of whether those thoughts and feelings are good or bad. This is why it is so hard to change. The body and the subconscious mind don't want us to change. You've probably heard him say before that your personality creates your personal reality, right? In essence, if the body stores thoughts, feelings, and emotions, then it is like a memory bank from the past. This is why he equates the subconscious mind and the body as being almost the same thing. I don't think that Dr. Joe means that our body stores memory and thought, but that there is a direct, close connection between the mind and the body, to the point where you could say that they are part of the same system, which includes storing thoughts, memories, events, and feelings. The body stores feelings more than anything else, and that's why when you have a bad feeling, you can feel it in your body as a sensation. For example, heart pain really is heart pain. Certain thoughts can make you feel constricted in your throat. Certain thoughts can make you feel back pain, have a headache, cause neck pain, or cause pain anywhere else in the body. There really is a close mind-body relationship that most of us don't realize exists. So if the body creates hormones to match the vibration of a feeling that we have thought, then it's not that much of a stretch of the imagination to see that if the emotions are stored in the body, then those emotions were created from past thoughts and memories. And so if the body is part of that memory system, then it stores old memories and feelings. And if that information is stored in the body, then it should be possible to release that energy. So once this energy starts to move, we are freeing the body from the past. That's why he says it that way, that we are freeing the body from the past. I know this may seem a bit unbelievable, but even acupuncture, acupressure, and EFT are based on this concept that there are energy flows all through the body that are connected to energy meridian endpoints. And every negative emotion is really a disruption in the body's energy system. In other words, there is a very close relationship between the mind and the body. The work then is to release or let go of those old memories of the past. The work is to release the resistance, to release all that negative energy from the past so that we can use it in our now present moment. And once you learn to let go of resistance and allow well-being, you can heal your life of anything. If you like this video, please click the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Our channel's goal is to make it to at least 100,000 subscribers so that we can improve the content and offer you more things. Please share this video with 5 of your friends and comment below. Also, we are now offering healing coaching sessions. Right now, it's very inexpensive and we don't know how long we can keep the sale going. But if you sign up now, you'll be grandfathered in and your price will never change if you don't cancel. Please check the date and time in the description below, along with how to register for it. And now, I'd like to give a shout out to Heather Hart. She said that she appreciated that we helped to clarify the Dr. Joe information and that she was even able to share it with her children. I think that's great, and I hope that they continue to listen too. The world needs more parents like you, Heather, and more kids like your kids. That's the end of this video. If you have any questions, please ask them below and I'll do my best to answer them. Sorry if it takes me a few days now. Also, please feel free to leave a comment about what you think about this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.